今天很高兴跟大家介绍 Raj Tamamani， 他是一个绿色金融专家，也是我一个好朋友。Raj 现在是一个叫做 Borrington Capital 的创办人，专注于绿色金融。那 Raj 之前呢的专业是着重在 Asia Infrastructure， 就是亚洲的基本建设。他的着重呢就是在 Green Finance 绿色金融，还有 Sustainable Development 就是永续发展。那有很多这些项目呢，他在东南亚有相当多的经验。那 Raj 呢，其实我们今天很难得也邀请到他，他其实在很多的国际论坛都有常常被邀请发言发表，他的专业是得到业界的肯定的哦。然后除此以外呢，他也非常注重这种永续的议题，因为除了在专业的部分关心永续的议题以外呢，他也常常参与很多一些环境永续的一些组织的支持等等的哦，然后来帮忙保护我们的地球。那其实 Raj 呢也是一个非常重要的一个绿色金融蓝图的一个专家哦，他的经验，他的对业界的这个使命感呢，是我非常尊敬的。所以我现在就赶快就用英文跟 Raj 做一个对谈，来了解一下。首先是身为一个印度人，他为什么来台湾？他对台湾的这个绿色金融的潜力是怎么样看待的？
Actually, I was working in Hong Kong, and I was working in a large financial institution. I thought Taiwan's a great potential to start a fund here. Along with the organization, I wanted the organization to work in Taiwan to set up a fund. After working on Taiwan fund for a while, organization said Taiwan's too small a market. Let's not spend too much resources on Taiwan. So then I thought I could do it myself. So I thought, Taiwan's got a great potential. I believed in it, and I still believe in it. So I thought, let me go there and do it myself.
So you're a big fan of Taiwan. You believe that there's a lot more potential here. So thank you for relocating to Taiwan.
Thank you. I mean, thank you for Taiwan for having me as well.
I think one of the main issues we had discussed earlier was that you think there's a huge potential in terms of our asset management industry and
Yes.
the green finance sector. And so would you like to talk a little bit about that? What you think is the green finance potential in Asia?
Yeah, I think first of all, let me talk about the asset management industry itself. If you look at just comparing some markets, if you look at Hong Kong or Singapore, Hong Kong today manages about $3.9 trillion US dollars. 63% of that money comes from outside Hong Kong. Singapore manages about $3.4 trillion. About more than 70% of that money comes from outside Singapore. While in Taiwan actually only manages about 0.6 trillion or 600 billion, and most money is managed from within Taiwan. There's not much money that comes from outside Taiwan to be managed in Taiwan. So I thought that is a huge potential because Taiwan's one of the more attractive markets in the region. If you look at Taiwan's credit rating, sovereign credit rating, I think Taiwan's sovereign credit rating is AA+, which is only second to Singapore in Asia. Everybody else is less than Taiwan.
So 各位，今年9月13号的时候，在立法院我有办一个绿色金融蓝图公听会，然后呢 Raj 是我们其中我邀请来的专家。他刚刚所提到的就是他觉得台湾有非常大的一个潜力，把我们的资金留在台湾来做一些绿色金融的投资跟绿色产业的转型。那同时呢，他也觉得说台湾也是一个非常好的融资市场，可以帮东南亚的国家做一些绿色相关的项目，用台币去发这些绿色债券。
Green finance is, well, it's in the last 15 years. It has grown to a significant number. As of the end of 2022, total amount of GSS, Green, Social and Sustainable Bonds, GSS bonds, total bonds issuance in the last 15 years is about 3.5 trillion US dollars. Green bonds alone is about $2 trillion. And in Taiwan, green bonds issued in Taiwan is $15 billion, which is very, very small even compared to what it is in, let's say, Japan, which is about $138 billion. In Korea, it's $108 billion. So compared to even Korea and Japan, Taiwan's green bond market is very, very small. Has a huge potential to go up significantly.
Maybe it also help our viewers understand what is green financing in the first place. 所以说绿色金融到底是什么东西呢？其实它涵盖的项目非常的广泛。
Green financing is ability for the finance or the financial flow towards assets that contribute to environmental protection. It
to
could be
decarbonizing
environmental protection. It could be like renewable energy. It could be waste management. It could be a lot of other sectors which would reduce carbon dioxide emissions or greenhouse gas emissions into the environment.
Batteries, electric vehicles.
Batteries, electric vehicles.
Data centers.
Data centers also, not all data centers are equal. Data centers that use green power, right? So you need to encourage or use more green power. You use or the money or the capital that goes towards increasing energy efficiency. Like for example, you were at COP28. I think COP28 idea was triple the renewable energy capacity and double the energy efficiency initiatives. I think these two will very summarize the whole thing about green finance.
Yes. So Raj, could you tell me a bit about how green bonds can be expanded in Taiwan? What's the potential there?
Okay. I think Taiwan can do green bonds in many ways, but in a couple of things. One is green bonds typically tend to be raised by corporates or governments or government-related entities from the public, so they can be deployed into green infrastructure, green assets. So there can be two ways, right? One is Taiwanese companies can raise green bonds, and Taiwanese government can raise the green bonds, and these money raised in green bonds can be invested in Taiwanese assets. That's actually great, and it can be done. I think Taiwan's slowly doing that. It's a great thing. But what is more important about green bonds is also ability for, let's say, an emerging market which does not have as active a capital market or as liquid a market for themselves. They can come to Taiwan, raise green bonds in Taiwan to invest in their countries. I think that way we can Taiwan could be helping other emerging markets to channel capital into their green assets as well.
That's an area that I'm very interested in, because I believe that climate financing could help open up what I call track 2 dialogue. It could help build green diplomacy for Taiwan.
Absolutely.
And bring Taiwan to have allow Taiwan to have more visibility in the international market through the exchange of capital. I think during COVID, Taiwan was known for Taiwan Can Help and sent a lot of masks out. 在台湾疫情的时候，有很多人在讲台湾 Can Help， 就送很多口罩出去。可是我觉得 Raj 现在所讲的是更有意思的，就是说或是更有影响力的，可以这么说。因为其实如果台湾的绿色金融市场能开放的话，我们可以帮很多的边邻国来做一些绿色债券，从台湾台币发出去。这样的话，台湾实际上就可以真正的帮助到许多的东南亚国家，来让他们的环境更加的干净。But Raj, also I think I would love to have you talk a little bit about Taiwan's sovereign credit rating as well, and why it would be a really great place to issue the bonds.
I think Taiwan's sovereign rating is really good. It's AA+. It could potentially help in many ways, right? One is if Taiwan raises capital, obviously it's going to be cheaper capital for Taiwan, like if Singapore or US government or anybody else was raising capital. But if other countries come here and raise capital, Taiwan's sovereign credit is not going to help them that much, because when you invest in a bond, the rating of that bond depends upon where the money is being invested and who's going to pay it back. If I think Singapore is doing it really well. They're helping Singaporean companies which are based in Singapore, access the credit rating of Singapore. I think Taiwan could do a lot of that as well. That help Taiwanese companies to go outside into Southeast Asia or anywhere else as well.
So because the Taiwanese government has a good credit rating of AA+, what you're saying is that they can help Taiwanese companies raise debt overseas.
Overseas or within Taiwan, to be invested both in Taiwan as well as outside Taiwan. These companies can grow outside Taiwan as well.
所以刚刚 Raj 所讲的就是说，我们的国家信评在亚洲其实是第2名的，新加坡是3A， 那台湾是双 A 加。这个意思就是说，当台湾的企业要在海外或国内要举债的话，其实有好的国家的信评是有很大的助力的。所以意思就是说，这是有很大的潜力来做这个绿色金融。So saying that this is a very good foundation for us to do in and outbound capital raising.
That's correct.
刚刚跟 Raj 提到，就是说在台湾，我觉得说金融素养一般的民众是不够高的，所以有这机会跟他聊绿色金融呢，其实让我想到另外的议题，就是金管会我今年推动的就是课纲里头要加一些金管会的一些课程，从理财的部分，因为今年的 FTX 的时候呢，有20万人受到伤害，那台湾的这个金融培训呢，跟一般的金融投资知识需要加强的。
The green bonds are available for everybody. The green bonds is not just for institutional; it's available for everybody to invest in. So it's a fixed income product, which is going to be better product with less risk than any other product, non-green bonds.
And that's why when we were working together in this on September 13th, one of the reasons why was that I think there's a market gap for products that have over 5% return in NT dollars. for the Taiwanese market. So Raj, one final question for you is, could you tell me a little bit more about how would you advise Taiwan to accelerate this change to enter this green finance market, and how we can collaborate with the region as well?
So I think the Taiwanese government could potentially form a platform where even smaller company can use that platform to provide some data from their operations, provide data from their investment activities, so that platform could calculate their footprint themselves. So it makes it easier for people. It also makes it standardized as to what data that goes into the platform, and one platform is giving out the information about your carbon footprint. So it actually also standardizes a lot of data and data provision as well as data reporting. So that could potentially also help. Making these things happen in Taiwan could also set standards for the rest of the region, so that they can come here and raise capital, use this infrastructure system to talk about their green financing. That's how Taiwan can be innovative, not just follow somebody, but set standards to go forward and be a leader. I think I'm a big believer in Taiwan being a leader in green finance, slowly but surely.
刚刚稍微总结一下 Raj 所建议的3个建议啊。第一个，他就是说，从保险业的部分的话，我们保险业的指数叫做 RBC， 就是 Risk-Based Capital。这个指数如果说政府有一些机制，让保险公司投一些绿色金融的项目的话呢，帮台湾达到净零碳排，这样的话，可能这个 RBC 指数会对保险业比较优，这个会对保险业有很大的诱因在。然后呢，再来就是说，从中小企业的这个 data 整合的部分，数据整合，碳排放如果有一个平台的话，这样子我们的企业会比较清楚的试算他们的碳排放。那再来就是说，这个碳排放的规格呢，如果是全国一致的话，我们也可以把这个规格带到东南亚去，然后让他们用我们的规格做这个碳排放的试算之后，他们也可以来台湾融资。等于说，我们就把台湾的一个碳排放的试算的规格可以出口出去，把我们的创新跟我们的领导能力带出去。在这个时候，就是说，因为这个市场还算蛮新的，我们不一定只是要跟人家，我们也可以当一个 leader，and we can take initiative and be and have we take initiative and be a leader in this space. 可以这么说。Well, thank you, Raj, so much for your time today.
Thank you, Cynthia.
This has been wonderful, and that you're now in Taiwan, so that you're here to share a lot more of your advice to our viewers and to our Taiwanese leadership in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
I 我针对这个CBAM 的这个国际接轨的这个碳定价政策呢，毕竟这个欧盟碳税也是2026年才会其实实施嘛，所以其实觉得台湾是还有点时间调整的。以我的观察就是说，台湾的主要竞争国家日韩、新加坡、中国都是碳税、碳排放交易，跟我国是完全不一样的。世界也知道说碳价时代即将要来临。那本席担心的是，台湾是无法跟国际接轨，以现在的这个制度的方向啊，那这也没有很完善的这个时程跟风险。那如果政府未来可以规划10年的途径，包含这个碳税、碳排放交易，避免双重课税的原则，也可以广大这个碳金融市场。那同时，竟然就是说，假设2025年才要开始征碳费的话，不如直接2026年，院长可以考虑就直接课碳税。那这样的话，我也预期就是未来要走向碳排放交易的 ETS， 也让台湾能跟国际接轨。谢谢。刚刚调到2个议题呢，也是希望钱留在台湾，帮助台湾产业，投资台湾基础建设，提升产业转型。那请院长说，是否可以谨慎考量刚刚所提这2个议题，可不可以采取国际典范，然后倒着过来想，应该怎么样调整我们的这个政策措施？对。
我想政府的政策呢，一定会参考国际的其他的国家，但是也会考虑到台湾产业的特色了。这2个是一定要平衡来讲。那最主要的当然就是您这里所提到的，最好的就是提升国家竞争力哈。那这一个部分，我们会把相关的部分召集来，好好的来研议，看看接近于国外的一些政策，然后看看台湾的特色，然后找出去对台湾最有帮助的这一些处理的方法。
谢谢。10年的这个环境部的这个途径蓝图哦，因为其实我之前多次也呼吁，就是说碳费、碳税、碳抵换的交易、碳交换的平台哦，这4种到底要陆续怎么样有些配套措施？因为这不只是对产业，还有这个台湾碳排金融接轨的国际性是非常重要的。因为很多产业呢，业界都不了解，就是说碳权到底是要不要买，然后要买多少，然后未来这个东西可能成为金融商品。然后呢，有没有一些其他碳定价的这个机制在？ 那产业要转型的话，是需要很多年的时间，不能一次马上到位。那如果整个架构没有提出来的话，这样子产业很难做一些中长期的规划。所以想了解说，你们什么时候可以做出一个10年的路径图？上次我跟部长问过，那看看司长这边有什么样的想法，可以给我承诺吗？什么时候可以做出来？
跟委员报告哈，我们之前这个有跟也是委员有提到说，我们应该可以在3个月内，在3个月内，因为最主要还是要看政府这一端，我们要做中长期的规划。我们先在目前是先以碳价，就是这个收碳费为主。那这个3个月内我们做的规划，确实会依委员的指示，就是
所以你是说只有3个月能做碳费？你
没有，我是说3个月内我们会把10年的路径图跟委员做报告。
谢谢你。